stress, you seek recourse in that this is temporary, it will pass. Let me just dive deeper into my own self. Does it make sense to everybody what I'm saying? You want to say something? Yeah, we've already covered this. The seed comes from there, the intellectual. You're saying the intellect is a product of your vasanas. So what are you saying? No, it's not. Intellect is still a part of the material world. It's thoughts. It's subtler, it's the subtlest. In your physical personality, it's the subtlest. But it is still part of your physical personality. It is not belonging to the layer of self. You know what I'm saying? Mind and intellect, what's the difference between two? There's a world of difference between the two.
So indirectly, mind is like a child.
Exactly.
Intellect is a race.
Right. I think he said it very nicely. The intellect, the mind is like a child. It's full of likes and dislikes. It doesn't know what's right and wrong. It just wants what it wants. You know, as I was saying earlier, I want this, I like this, I have to have it. I don't understand if it's good for me. It doesn't care about that. It doesn't understand that. You know. The intellect is the reins. It's like a parent, or it is like the adult which guides, which controls. And the faculty of thinking, the reason the thinking is so much distinguishing and thinking, analyzing, reasoning is because all this becomes the source of understanding the world, including understanding your own self. There is this intellectual faculty in you which wants to understand what is this world all about, what am I all about, what am I doing in this world, what is my life all about, you know, where do I fit into this larger picture of life. So that is what your intellect is doing. Whereas when we are talking at the soul level, the soul has got nothing to do with it, with any of this drama that is going on. It is just sitting still. You know, it's like outside this consciousness, this whole, this is the whole, this is all consciousness, and this is individual personality inside which also there is consciousness. So this material layers have temporarily encrusted and created individual personalities, like outside us is space. Yeah, everybody understand what I'm saying? Yeah, we are all in the same physical space. Right? At the same time, because of our bodies, we have this space which I call my body is my own space. Right? That individuality, what we call. So there is, in one way, if you see from one perspective, there is no differentiation. It's all space. But another way is that there are these differences. There are these this thing. So when we are talking about at this level, although it's an individual level, the center of your consciousness is the same as the center of the cosmic consciousness. It's the same. It's just that the material layers make you believe and feel that this is different, you know. So to the extent that you know that this center in me and the consciousness outside is all the same, I don't identify with all these layers around me. You know, I think this Panchakosha diagram is something that I was very fascinated by when I was reading up and preparing for this talk, because I just felt if, you know, one just keeps this diagram in one's mind all the time, that this is what I am and these are the layers around me and I'm not this. Panchakosha, I studied basically Vedanta philosophy, and Vedanta treatise has a detailed description of it by Swami Parthasarathi. If you want to read it, or you want to, I think reading Bharati Vidya Bhavan library would have it. Yeah. Otherwise, as a book it's available, yeah. As a book it's available. Okay, how to stay centered is the question. How do we stay centered in the idea that I am the self, I am this consciousness? Uh, we have a physical personality, we cannot detach ourselves from that. You can't remove yourself from that. You can't become a ghost entity, that you're just pure consciousness. So what you can do is that you understand, as we are doing right now, and everything that is being talked about is based on a lot of research backed word. So it's nothing that I'm talking to you is from my own head. So if not me, at least believe in a lot of research, scriptural research. The body, mind, intellect, what do we do at these levels? How do we function at the best, in the best way at these levels? Because it's something that we have to do. We don't, for me itself, I was in a big dilemma. It's like, how do we exist in this kind of a peculiar state, We are like half God, half men kind of creatures. Means, is it sometimes, the question to ask is that, am I a human being or am I a spiritual being, When you say human being, it means like body, mind, intellect. Because when you say I'm a spiritual being, it means I'm the spirit. But being means also I have this body, mind, intellect. So you will find all spiritual disciplines who have got the act right will tell you what you have to do at these levels of your personality. With the body, you have to act, and when we are talking about action, it's not necessarily we are talking about work related action. Even many of you here are senior citizens. It's not time to retire. You may retire from active work life, but you must keep your body active. You are keeping it rather. I shouldn't be preaching to you. You've come for this talk itself is a showing that you're very active and alert people, and you're using your bodies as well as your minds. So action has to be performed all the time. You have to keep acting. And while performing action, if one can introduce this whole idea of service, how can I be of use? How can I be of help? It elevates your personality. It really elevates your personality. I think later on in one of the slides I put this point, the difference between the animal and the human beings. Huh? What are they? Both are same. No, I'll show you how they're different. I'll show you how they're different. Okay, I'll show you how they're different. Okay? Animals exist on a horizontal plane. Yeah? Animals' head is here, their heart is here, sexual organ which defines them. They're all three in one plane. Whereas a human being, they're like this. Head is here, heart is here, sexual organ here. There's a reason. Either we see it or we don't see it. When you're on a horizontal plane, animals are designed, they are not designed to have any kind of discriminative abilities. They are temperamental by nature, emotional creatures, and of course their instincts are very predominant, and that's how they are to function. Whatever they feel, they do, and that's how they are supposed to be living. And it seems to suit them, because I don't see animals, unless human beings keep them as pet, I don't see them as overweight or otherwise. Otherwise you see they are, whatever they're doing, they're seeming perfect. Whereas human beings, because we are on a vertical plane, it seems supposedly that we are designed for evolution, and because our head, heart, sexual organ are put in this order, we should be using our heads. Our head should, which is the intellectual faculty of reasoning, it should govern our emotions, which in turn should govern our actions. Ideally, because if we live up to the dignity of human beings, this is how we should be functioning. But I think we are also somewhere functioning like this, which is why you were saying there's no difference.
God has given us the choice.
Right.
For animal animals, there is no choice. They all instinct.
Right.
We have a choice.
Right. what has happened is, I think there has been too much over identification with body, mind, intellect, and this spiritual thing. Either people think in by and large that spirituality means okay retirement, उसके बाद time pass करने की activity है, just to give solace to your mind. People have not understood the true worth of spiritual education, because in the ancient Indian time, like young children were always sent to a Gurukul system, where for a certain age, you get spiritual education that fortifies you to understand what life is all about. And then you go out there, you engage in active life, where you become after brahmacharya grahast, where you are doing work, plus you get married, you take on household responsibilities. So you have learnt about life before living life. Here we are not learning anything about life. We are learning small, like somebody had said, talent, skills and all that. Somebody is becoming an arts graduate, somebody is becoming commerce. Before you are ready, you are thrown into this sea of life. Swim, do or die, drown, whatever. But nobody has knowledge about life. It's very sad. And we are like in India, people not having knowledge about life is very sad state of affairs, because this is a country which really boasted of the best of saints have been produced here, and spirituality is our heritage, it's our legacy. So if Indians have been divorced from it, it's very sad. Where? Okay, how to stay centered is, I didn't cover this, right? Yeah, action, I was saying mind, right, emotion. The emotion of love is really being lost. The reason we are experiencing so much of stress, strain, depression in society is because a lot of love has been lost. The whole simplicity of life that at least I have also experienced in my childhood or maybe teenage to some extent is being lost. People are just becoming more self-centered, more sensual, and it is taking away the innocence, simplicity and love which was inherent in all human beings. It is not, all love is not sexual love, but it has sometimes becoming in a decadent society. When we are talking about, your arrow has gone like this, it's fallen, you're not evolving, so you start devolving, so then you become like an animal. I'll come to that. I just finished with intellect and come to that. Intellect again, right, thought, knowledge. We were talking about it is that